Hey guys, in this video I will be talking about SwiftData. SwiftData is an iOS 17 API which was introduced in 2023 June's developer conference as a beta software. SwiftData is basically there to replace core data to make it easy to process data using declared code. It's designed to integrate easily with SwiftUI. Compared to core data, it's easier and more clean to deal with persistent data. You don't need to create another Xcode file and handle management from there. I would like to show you a couple things with its root source, so let's start by checking the details of this API. In the screenshots you could see we have fetch descriptor that we had when we were dealing with core data. And also here you could see we have more stuff that's coming from core data like has changes, rollback, save, and so on. Well, this is simply because SwiftData is built on top of core data, or let's say it's a combination of core data's persistent technology and modern concurrency features of Swift. If you create a new project on Xcode 15, you will see on storage section SwiftData as an addition to core data. If you choose it and create a project, you will have a default setup. To keep it short and simple, I want to go over this default thing that we see right here. First, let's look at the project app file that creates our source of application. You could see that we have a model container. This is where the data is saved. It's pretty much same as how it was on core data, but we have an easy way to do it if you don't need any configuration, which is if you remove the shared model container property, you could update your model container modifier like this. And this model container modifier will allow you to specify what data model you want to inject to your views. You can do this for any view that will contain a persist data, so it's not only for the root view of your app. Let's continue with the smallest component, item data model. To create a persistent data, the first thing you will need is an object. In this default example, it's the item. This is all you need to create a persistent data object, and if you notice, it's marked with model Swift macro. And if we look at the details of that, it's looking like the macro is defined as SwiftData macros in the type of persistent model macro. So what is this Swift macro? Well, since this video is about SwiftData, I won't be going over in detail what is a macro, but on Swift documentation, it's looking like this. Basically, Swift macros automatically transform and add new code to your program during compiling time, saving you from writing repetitive code yourself. To get back on the default example, let's continue with the view. On top, we have a SwiftData importance alongside SwiftUI, and you could see we have a model context creation with the environment property wrapper that calls model context. Context is something that helps you interact with the data itself. To save data, delete data, we use model context. And these methods in the screenshots are basically how you delete and add new data to your storage. As far as the query annotation that's declaring the list of items, it's basically how you retrieve your data model. Yes, literally, that's easy as it is. But additionally, for your specific case, you have some option that helps you filter. As a conclusion, SwiftData is pretty practical and looks like it will replace core data usage for developers who especially prefer SwiftUI for creating their views. Again, it's good to keep in mind that there is a version disadvantage, which is coming from its being for iOS 17 and Xcode 15. That was pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Goodbye.